This is Earth. It's where you were born. It's where you have always lived. And this is where your life will end. But what if you could live on in death? What if you could live on among the stars? What if you could live on in space? Celestis Memorial Spaceflights offers a uniquely powerful way to honor you and your loved ones by sending a symbolic portion of their cremated remains or DNA into space, a final journey among the stars. Whether touching space and returning to Earth, orbiting the planet they once called home, reaching the moon for a permanent lunar tribute, or voyaging into deep space, never to return. Each Celestis mission is a moment of wonder, healing, and connection, a tribute as extraordinary as the life it honors. With 30 years of trusted service, Celestis is the pioneer and global leader in memorial spaceflights. Celestis, the most compelling memorial experience on Earth and beyond. Talk to your funeral director about how to reserve a spaceflight tribute, or visit celestis.com to learn more.
And good evening, good people. Welcome to another Celestis mission update. I am one of the ambassadors for Celestis Memorial Space Flights. My name is Marc B, and I'll be helping out with the broadcast tonight, along with our CEO, the fantabulous Charlie. What I like to do during every one of our mission updates is give you guys a little bit of a heads up in terms of questions and answers and so on. No question is off limits. This is a very special broadcast today, and I'll talk more about that when I bring Charlie on. But we do have a chat room, and in that chat room, if you're able to access the chat room, you can type in any question you may have about our upcoming launches, any launch, our past launches, how we view our flights overhead each and every day. So just type in your question there, and Charlie or one of our crew who attends all of these briefings as well will answer the question. You'll see either that answer right on our screen here, or Charlie will reread those answers and then answer them himself. So without any further ado, hey, happy summer, by the way. I know it's June 2nd, and down here in Florida where I am, yesterday was the start of hurricane season. So I have survived. I've been down here over 30 years, and I've survived many hurricanes, and have never lost a house. Oh, knock on wood. Sorry about that. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and bring in our CEO and ultimate guru here, Charlie Chafer. Charlie, how are you this evening? And I have a question for you.
I'm well, Mark, and it's such a pleasure to see you and my good friend. And
yes,
we're happy to be here and excited about today's topic, which is launch fever. Catch it. We're less than 3 weeks away from our Perseverance flight.
I am excited, and I'll ask you this question. We'll lead on to the celebrations here. What number flight is this, Charlie?
Well, this is mission number 25.
Wow.
Which is quite a marker point for us. I'm not sure any of us, when we founded it, would have, well, of course, when you start a company, you have great hopes. But the fact that for 30 years and 25 missions, we've been able to provide closure and emotional fulfillment to the families of our participants, it's just been it's been great. Very, very rewarding. the friendships made, the missions completed, the dreams fulfilled. Uh, uh, Coming up to number 25.
Well, you have a very, very exciting background in the space industry. Did you ever imagine, number one, that you would be doing this, and then number two, you would make it to 25 in both of our lifetimes?
Probably not. I mean, in college, I kind of figured out that I wanted to do something that involved opening up space to humanity. I, like
Mm.
many of my peers, were heavily influenced by the work of Dr. Gerard K. O'Neill. The High Frontier just opened my eyes, and I knew then that I wanted to do something about space. And just through a series of effort and blind luck, have been there for the beginnings of the commercial launch industry and for many other touch points in the development of space technology. This application, I think I pursued it because our president, Deke Slayton, the national hero, Mercury, Apollo, Soyuz astronaut, loved the concept. And when I was working with Deke, he tried to make it happen, wasn't successful. It was too early. There wasn't a lot of commercial launch availability. The cremation rate in this country was under 20%. There's just a whole lot of reasons why we were a little too early back then. But once I began to see the public response to this offering, it was pretty clear that it was going to be a life's effort for me.
Yeah, the thing I really like about Celestis is that you basically pioneered the private space sector, because originally it was only allocated to astronauts, professionally trained, government owned, and even before the SpaceXs and the Blue Origins and any of the ULAs and any of the other companies that we ourselves have used as our Ubers, I can say, you were there in the forefront in terms of the privateering of space.
Right. Yeah, we laid a lot of foundations a couple of islands up from Boca Chica on an island called Matagorda Island in the 1970s and 80s, if you can believe it. And it's just the power of the idea of giving everybody an opportunity to participate in a real space mission. As you said, prior to us, really, it was a few highly trained civil servants that journeyed into space. And our idea was, at least symbolically, to open that experience up in every way we could to everyone on the planet. And in so doing, as I said, fulfilling a lot of people's dreams, but B, creating demand for private rockets, creating the reason, you have a rocket, it goes somewhere, but it has to carry stuff. And so we created a whole new kind of payload, and it hit a responsive chord.
Well, I've been to a number of launches, and it is very, very exciting with the help of Hollywood and see exactly what happens in space and all of the preparations for space travel. It's even better just to be right there watching one launch right before your eyes, and knowing that, for our clients, that you have a personal connection with Hollywood, because I got a guy up there myself.
And that's so important. Yeah, you can watch our launches on a webcast. You can even go to our memorial services via our webcasts. And so you're able to be there as we're doing things. But being there it's really hard to put into words, but you can feel it and you can see it when you're there, just as you described. And when that at Vandenberg, when that rocket just tips up over those mountains that separate Lompoc from the coast where they launch from, when that thing pops up and the roar hits you, and you know, hey, my dad is on that flight.
Yeah.
It's an amazing experience, and we try to make it as easy for people to attend that as you can. Attending a rocket launch has got all kinds of variables, and so what we try to do is be there and be ready. And when everything magically comes together, and it always does, to actually have that 3-day event that we put on and have people really literally from all over the world who arrive. They don't know really what to expect. They know they're going to see a rocket launch, but going through the whole process of launch is really, really special.
And on my last note here, before I let you go ahead and take over this mission update, the emotion alone, myself as a witness, just watching the families hug each other, hug strangers, the effect of takeoff, where you feel a little bit of the pressure that's hitting your body from the rocket going up, and then the sonic boom if we happen to be on a Falcon rocket, just watching the booster rockets coming down. It is magical, absolutely magical. So
it's the biggest send off you can give someone.
I agree. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to put you up and let you go ahead and do the update. And like I mentioned before, no question is off topic. We have our crew back at headquarters who are reviewing all the questions that come up, and either they will answer back to you personally in the chat room, or Charlie will respond to of course, more than one of the questions here on screen. Okay, right, Charlie, exactly. Take it away.
And
yep. Oops, sorry, Charlie.
Yes.
Where'd you go?
I didn't go. I'm here. You've got a couple of videos that I want to be sure you've got pulled up so that when I ask for them, you're able to run those.
Yes, I see the one, and then of course the one we do at the end.
No, there's two videos from the exploration company.
I have to find the other one, but you can. Did you want to do that now?
You can do that.
Which one?
No, I don't want to do them quite yet, so you can frantically search for them for a moment or two.
Yeah, I don't know where the second one was. I thought I had them all, but okay.
So
I'll let you run with it.
The main topic tonight. Welcome everybody, and thank you for your questions. I'll certainly see them. We'll get to them, and thank you for your interest. We want to focus tonight on our next mission, which is, as I said, right now targeting for less than 3 weeks away, and so we'll try to get into some depth about that mission and about the events associated with that mission. Real quickly, to just review the other missions that some people are asking about, and everyone is always curious, hey, when's that going to go? We're going to start. Hang on, sorry. I'm trying to get something pulled up on my phone, and almost there. I want to be sure that I'm accurate. The schedules. Well, here's a surprise: rocket launch schedules move around, right? And we just want to be give you all the best dates that we can. So, mission 25 is Perseverance, and most of the rest of the discussion tonight will focus on it. I'll come back to it. Mission 26 is called Serenity. and that will be our next Earth orbit service, Perseverance being an Earth rise service. It will be flown out of Cape Canaveral. It will be on the Above Aerospace mission tug, a new vehicle being built to ride on a Falcon 9 to Earth orbit, where it will orbit for, the statutory 5-year kind of time frame that the world is focused on now, and then re-enter harmlessly. That mission we just were informed, last week, and we haven't been able to update everything yet. Originally scheduled for Q4 of this year, looks like it will move to Q1 of next year. I'm not exactly sure why. No launch date is sacrosanct until they're right on the pad, ready to go. Both the builders and the launch providers have to have a schedule that matches up. And so we understand now that that mission is now moved 90 days to the right, and it will be Q1 of next year. The other missions we have are a late next year lunar service called Destiny, and then a late the following year deep space mission called Infinite. And as we get nearer to those, obviously, we will do what we're doing for Perseverance, which is really focus on it. So that's that. Let me catch up with any questions here. Scheduled date for moon launch next year. There's not a date. It's way too early to set a date. But as I say, we're looking at Q4 of next year. Question about Gene Roddenberry. His widow at the time, Majel, wanted us to fly him on our first mission, which we did, and to fly the two of them together on our first Voyager mission, which we did. And we've had a marvelous relationship with the Roddenberry family, including Rod Roddenberry, whose DNA was on board with his mom and dad's ashes on our Enterprise flight, heading for a 300 million kilometer orbit around the sun. It's a 2.5-year journey to get there. We launched in January of 2004. So we're still a year or so out from that final deep space destination. And it is in very deep space. The orbits intersect the orbit of Mars and the orbit of Venus as it's circling the sun for as long as the sun exists. So it's a cool mission. We were so honored that we had Gene Roddenberry on our very first mission, and then the family has been on subsequent missions. Question about a recording of the launch in addition to the webcast. Yes, for all of our missions, we produce what's called a family video, which is a compilation, professionally edited, of the 3-day event that you will have attended or you will have observed, and that will be available. Usually it takes, a couple of months afterwards to look through 3 days worth of video, edit it, and produce a very professional remembrance of the launch, which will be able to be downloaded once it's ready. Talked about Serenity. What's your confidence level for liftoff on 21 June? Woo! Well, mixed is the proper term, because there are at least, I think now, 5 launches ahead of us, 5 SpaceX launches ahead of us. They've been knocking them out flawlessly. I think they've flown 5 missions in the last 18 days, which is incredible if you have any experience in launches. Our level of confidence is such that we've purchased our tickets. We're planning to be there on the 19th, but we will monitor very closely the 5 launches ahead of us. If any of those launches slip, it's possible that we might slip. And so your best thing to do is to watch our website. If you're a participant primary contact, you'll get emails from us constantly updating you on the launch date. Knock on wood, SpaceX has been on time and perfect for the last several Falcon 9 launches. So it's going to go in about that time frame, but we're watching it. What we always say, just don't make non-changeable reservations. I know everybody wants the cheapest flight, and we want you to have the cheapest flight, but that cheapest flight needs to have the ability to move if the mission moves. But you want to get everything locked in. You want to get your hotel locked in, and just be flexible. And that's the nature of the beast. We don't have any say in when the launch happens, and sort of everyone from the creator of the universe down to the shrimp boat captain who happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time can affect that. But as I say, we'll be out there, and if we're not going to be out there, check our website. We'll tell you, hey, it's moved. The new window is 24 through 26. It won't move a lot, again, unless there's a reason for it to. And that's the story of confidence in launch dates. We'll be there, and we right now everything's go. But there are 5 missions or so in front of us, so we just have to be patient. We know. Well, here's the thing: we almost never, ever, even as much as a month out before the launch, ever have the exact date. But we know they all occur, and so that's what we ask our family members who want to come. There's a reason why everybody wants to come and see these missions, is because obviously your loved ones on board, you want to be there, you want to share that with your family members. So we're really good. This is our 25th time doing this, and we're really good at working with families and making sure that they're informed and supporting your desire to attend the launch. Okay, next one. Prices. Okay. Question about what if I've prepaid, I'm still alive, I want to pay for this mission, whatever mission it is. What do you guys do with the funds that I pay you? And the answer is we have a trust account, and we put the majority of your funds into that trust account, which earns interest. And you own the trust account, by the way. It is yours. It's just there to ensure that when the mission occurs, the payment comes to us. So we don't get paid the majority of the funds until after the mission has come. Why isn't it all of them? Well, it takes a lot of work to prepare for the launch. You have to buy the rocket. You have to store the ashes. You have to transfer the ashes to flight capsules. So we do expend funds along the way as we're preparing for your launch. But the majority of the funds go into a trust account in your name, which you can cancel whenever you want. No one ever cancels, obviously, but it's a way to protect the investment you're making in that prepayment. Next question. What's done on arrival when DNA? Our capsules stay attached to the machine, the lander that lands on the moon. So they are permanently stored. The DNA capsules are built out of titanium, which is more radiation. It's what NASA uses for radiation resistance. and they stay on the surface of the moon or in a lunar orbit until that decays. Okay, let's see. Okay, so what time do we expect liftoff? I don't know yet. I'm hearing that it's in the afternoon, but we don't have an official launch time yet. Okay, Mark, are you there? Now I'd like to turn to the Perseverance flight, the 25th mission. It's the 25th mission. It's also the very first mission in many ways. It's the first time we've flown with our partner called the Exploration Company. And it's the first time we've ever flown an Earthrise mission into orbit and retrieved the capsules back from orbit. What do I mean? I think that would be a good time, Mark, if you've located those videos. We'll show you the videos that have been prepared about the Exploration Company's mission. They call it Mission Possible. We are a payload on Mission Possible. This is their second launch of the technology. And what technology? Re-entry technology. Their business model is to fly cargoes into space, into orbit, and have them do what they do in orbit, materials processing, observate, whatever, and then re-enter the payload back to Earth. And I think in our case, it'll be in the Pacific Ocean near Hawaii, recover that re-entry device, and then send the payloads. In our case, it will be our capsules back to us. And then we deliver them to you with a certificate verifying that this, data is flown into space. Okay, so Mark, how are we doing on it? Do we have
Charlie? Yeah. Is it the Maya one or the other one?
It's what?
Is it the Maya one or the other one? The other
both of them, either one. They're both worth showing.
Yeah, one wasn't named, so I'm ready for you now. Here you go.
Fire away. Mark, you're on mute. Still, there you go.
That's probably good because I think I was screaming.
Yeah. It's a really cool, that's a great representation. If you saw those little vials, just think of our flight capsules as being, so, in this case, I think we have 170 folks on this flight, 170 vials, and then everything else is a pretty accurate representation of what Perseverance flight is. That's how different it is from our previous Earthrise missions. They didn't go to orbit. This is really cool. If you've got the other one, it's got a little bit of the realism of what they're doing to it, and then we'll get back to the question.
I'm just trying to smooth out the goosebumps, Charlie. Just trying to smooth out the goosebumps.
Very cool.
That was stunning. So we'll go to the next one now. That was a big file, so I had to load it in a different way, but we do have it. So excuse me while I do a little IT
well,
work
in the interim,
here.
I can answer. Let me answer Martin's question, and then when I'm done with it, you can pull it up.
Go for it.
Martin's question, which I think everybody can see, should my family keep more samples of my remains? My concern is some sort of failure in the launch, and there are no more of my remains remaining to be shipped in deep space. I think we got you covered because we collect more ashes or DNA than we're going to fly. So that once we transfer the ashes that you sent us into a flight capsule, there are always enough for 1 or 2 additional flights available, which we codify, we store in a vault, and then in the likely event that the mission is successful and we don't need to refly them, we then scatter those ashes at a legal scattering site, either by the Cape Canaveral Banana River Ocean or out in the Pacific Ocean, and we do that for all of the folks, and you'll get a little certificate that not only will you get your launch certificate, but you'll get a certificate of scattering also.
Wow. I occasionally try to stay within company standards when I put comments up, but I just can't let this one go by. Mary, thank you for that. You're absolutely right. Yeah. That was stunning.
Those folks, okay. The exploration company, I got to say, is a pretty cool company. It's a German company. It's the first time we've ever gone international with our providers. And one of the things, I was on their website today, one of their advisory board members is Yo-Yo Ma.
Oh no! Are you? Was that his music?
Pardon? No, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But he's prominently displayed on the observing board member, is I believe how they testify. But they're a serious player, and we will have a representative from them speaking at our pre-launch briefing. One of the really cool things we're able to do for the folks that come out, or for the people that watch on the webcast, is we bring in, so we have 2 amazing guests for this flight. One is a repeat speaker, very popular people named Andy Wolfsteig. And Andy is many things. Currently, his title is Senior Advisor Launch Countdown. He's been on the console for missions. He's been a mission director. He knows what goes on in mission control when your loved ones are flying. And he'll be speaking to us during our memorial service. The other speaker that we have is Dr. Erica Wagner, who's the head of business development for the exploration company. And again, an extremely qualified speaker, and someone that the families will be able to question, to interact with, have a sandwich at the reception with. And that's always one of the cool things for the family members that do come out to the mission, is they get to meet and interact with real people that know what they're talking about from the space world. So we'll have both of those folks as speakers on the day before the launch. Okay, Mark, do you have a video?
Oh yeah, I'm ready for you when you are.
Fire away, please.
All righty, here we go. Excuse me, I have to punch some keys here and grab this video, and it is excuse me for a sec here. I had it queued up, but it looks like it is being a little fritzy on me right now. Stand by. Oh. Charlie, my apologies. I did have it there, but I'm not.
It's okay. I'll answer Dave Vandervelt's question. Good to see your name.
Please, while you do that. Yeah, I see it. It's just not entering in. But go ahead.
Good to see your name there, Dave. His question is the flight pattern known. What continents will be in the flyover? Well, yeah, every flight that launches out of Vandenberg launches south into what's called a polar orbit. And a polar orbit is cool because it crosses every part of the Earth every third or fourth day. So the same part of the Earth. So it covers all continents everywhere. And its repeat cycle is every 3 or 4 days, depending. So that you're if you're on a 5-year mission, you're going to be covering all of the continents multiple times.
All right, if you could keep going, Charlie, I see what the problem is. I'm trying to solve it.
Okay. I think we've answered all the questions. What type, Frank Miguel, what type of rocket is used for the Perseverance launch? We are flying on a SpaceX Falcon 9. And Desmo, say the launch goes without a hitch. How does launch day actually go? Well, for us, let's say it's an afternoon launch. We will all gather about 90 minutes to 2 hours before the scheduled launch. We'll board a bus at the Hilton Garden Inn in Lompoc, California. We'll then be bused to our launch viewing location, which in this case, I think it will be at Cabrillo High School, which is up a hill and gets a great view of the rocket tip, because that's all you can see from the ground because everything else is covered by mountain. And we will be there at least an hour before the launch. The webcast, SpaceX webcasts usually begin 5 minutes before the launch. So we'll have that up and running right at T-5. At the viewing site, we'll have a tent, we'll have chairs, we'll have tea and water and stuff, sustenance. And we'll be there listening to the count with one eye on the TV, but mostly when it gets to T-1, everybody walks out beyond the tent where there's stunning views, constructive sky going to space. And then once the launch has occurred, we will board the buses and come back to the hotel. The webcast SpaceX often carries the webcast on until the major spacecraft have been deployed from the Falcon 9. My understanding is that our Mission Possible reentry vehicle is one of the first deployed. And I can't tell you if it will be on camera many of them are, but you'll be back at the hotel in time to watch that. Judy asks for how long the flight will last. Getting a little echo. Mark, I don't know if you're still around. But Judy,
I hear you.
the
Yeah,
mission
I hear you.
is okay. I'm getting a lot of echo for some reason all of a sudden. The mission itself has a nominal Perseverance nominally will be about 3 orbits, and orbits are 90 minutes. So at the end of 3 orbits, the spacecraft will deorbit and parachute back to Mother Earth to be picked up and returned. That's about 3 hours longer than our other Earthrise missions last. They last about 15 minutes. And again, remember the definition of Earthrise is your flight capsule reaches space, which is 62 kilometers, and returns to Earth. And typically, we've been operating Earthrise missions out of Spaceport America in New Mexico on an up aerospace rocket. This one is a new step for us in that it will be orbital and then reentry. And I'm not seeing Mark. If you can't show it, we can keep trying. Folks, we have more questions. What can I tell you? Lompoc, California is the central California coast. Just unbelievable, beautiful part of America. It is in wine country. There are probably 30 vineyards within a 20-minute drive. And that's the best thing to do if there's a launch delay. If it gets scrubbed and moves to the next day, we can point you to all the great vineyards that are out there in the central California area. That's a really amazing experience to visit some of the vineyards that are out there if you've not got the chance. North is San Luis Obispo and the Hearst Castle. Okay, Martin, thank you for rescuing me with another question. If I prepay for my mission now and live for 20 more years, is my price locked in? Yes, it is. That there really are a couple reasons why people choose pre-planning. One is the price lock. Well, we haven't raised prices a bunch, but we have had price increases. Certainly over 20 years, you can expect we'll do another one or two, assuming that the economics are the same. So yeah, your price is locked. Second thing is you have certainty that the service will occur. I can tell you that we've interacted with a number of potential clients who were certain that the service was going to be provided for them after they passed, and for one reason or the other, that the executor or the family decided not to send them on a space flight. So certainty. The third reason is just the emotional support of having that locked in, and you don't have to burden anybody in your family after you've passed away. Okay, Mark, you have a report?
It was in a bad format. I think I'm ready for you now.
Okay, and I'll come back to Helen, your question, and Martin, your question after. This is another video from the exploration company. As I recall, the first one you saw was, really beautiful. I think this one is them at work, but let's watch it.
Yeah, watch. All right. Oh, that was it?
Okay.
that
Well,
that was it. That was the only one.
no,
Right?
the one I sent had them actually building the spacecraft. Anyway, trust me, it's well under construction. It's going to fly in 3 weeks. It's probably in the U.S. by now, being integrated onto the rocket. Okay, Helen, price will be lower. And the cost of the launch is a very small percentage of the cost of the service. And so as launches costs go down, things like renting space, just everything associated with life continues to go up. So I wouldn't expect price cuts based on competitive space companies. And I don't think they're very much competing on price either. Some of them are, but some of them don't exist because of that. So I understand your point. Spaceflight truly is getting lower cost. If Starship ever succeeds, it'll be dramatically lower cost. But again, the percentage of that cost that's associated with the provision of our service, which is a pretty complicated thing to do, probably won't have that effect. Okay, and Martin, how often do you deep space launch? Well, the contract that you would sign commits us to perform the integration of the payload within 5 years. So think of having a max length of time, 5 years for between deep space missions. Yeah, I'll put that in context. The very first mission we ever did to deep space was last year, which means that we spent our first 29 years trying to do missions to deep space. And that is solely a reflection of the fact, by the way, our deep space mission is the first ever privately funded deep space mission. So our participants on that flight were historical in all sorts of ways, but it's the first time anybody ever commercially provided deep space transport. Where I think Helen's point is, which is there already are a lot more opportunities to fly than there have in the past. And for that reason, we're confident that we can maintain that contractual. I'm getting echo. I hope the folks out there aren't overwhelmed by it. Okay, yeah, getting feedback. Martin hears it. So, Mark, is there anything? I can't think of anything I can do on my end. Is there anything you can do on your end? Sorry about that, folks.
Whoops.
I'm using
Charlie. Andrea sent it to me. I'm downloading it right now.
Okay.
Okay. So if you could stretch a little bit.
Sure. Describing the memorial service a little bit is for people that are there, they have a chance to speak at the service. The service is always some music, some poetry. We'll bring in violinists, but it's mostly family members remembering their loved one and why they chose this service for them and what the service means to them. And it's a very touching few hours where a lot of tears are shed, a lot of great stories. We've all been to memorial services. This is one that focuses specifically on the people that are on board. Let's see. Helen has another question here. Does Celestis plan to try to market for Memorial Flight launch Mexico? We have participants from all over the world, Mexico, Asia. If you mean, are we going to fly out of those countries? probably not in any near-term time frame. Okay. Guys, it's a nail biter. Are we going to get to the video before before Charlie runs out of words? Appreciate all the interesting questions from folks. And as Mark said, we're 24/7, so your questions don't have to be during this time frame. We're always willing to answer them, particularly as we start getting close for people that want to travel. Just feel free to check with us if you need anything, because we'll be there in force with our staff who've now helped me manage many missions. So if it can be done, we're there to help do it.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
I'm here.
Yep, my apologies again. Looks like I don't have it. Yeah, it's not the right file. I'm not sure why not, but
okay. I had sent it to you last week. I don't know if you go to my email.
Yeah, well, she sent me a YouTube link, but it seems that it is mixed in with a bunch of other stuff. So that's why I'm having a problem trying to figure out what this is.
I guess you'll just have to show up in California and we'll show it again.
Or you can post it
during the live cast.
Yeah, there's some confusing files. I'm assuming that you could probably upload it to your to our Celestis Facebook page as well, right? Our Celestis website.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. Or just here, folks, Google the exploration company Mission Possible and click the thing that says videos and you'll find it. That's how I found it. And Mary, congratulations on meeting the Star Trek crew. We met most of the folks that we flew, not everybody. And I met Michelle Nichols. I met, obviously, Gene Roddenberry. I met Majel Barrett Roddenberry. I met Wendy Doohan, who was Jimmy Doohan, Scotty's wife. And of course, Rod Roddenberry. So that Star Trek community has sustained us. It really, we have a bunch of our clients who grew up Star Trek fans. All right. Well, Mark, why don't you just bring up the closing video instead? I apologize, guys. But as I said, just Google the exploration company and Mission Possible and videos, and there are a bunch of them there. The one I wanted to show is a short one, shows our spacecraft under real construction, just so everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah, this boggles me as well. My apologies, deepest apologies. I don't understand.
Okay, and Martin has a question about, gee, am I going to have the same trouble watching live launch? No, because SpaceX does the webcast of the live launch. So you'll be going to SpaceX.com or X, and the live launch will be where you go to watch that. And it's called the Transporter 14 mission. But we'll send all this out in the next couple weeks as well. Reminders of where to watch what. Our memorial site service will be up the same day that we have it, on a link that we'll provide that you can watch that there. All right. Well, we're pretty close to closing time, Mark. So let's thank everybody for your patience and your patience. And hopefully we'll get to meet a bunch of you. I know several have already registered to come and be part of all of our activities, and it's a great opportunity to meet the team. I'm sorry, here comes another question from Chris. Each orbit for Perseverance is about 90 minutes, and the total trip will be about, I think it's 3 orbits. And so that's 90 times 3, 270, 270 minutes of on orbit time, and then re-entry over Hawaii. And Mary, I agree with you about 2001. Look at that. What do we got?
I am trying.
He's showing it. That's it.
And
that's
I'm gonna
spacecraft that we're flying on.
Yeah, stand by.
Under construction.
And where is the volume control on this thing here? Let's see. Wow.
It's awful small, but
I know. I never got a file like this before. This is.
We showed the one that mattered, which is that. It's real hardware, folks.
Its mission to low Earth orbit will be short. In a February 29 LinkedIn post, the company revealed that the mission possible capsule's tank skids had been integrated and that the team was. The exploration company has published an update on the progress of its subscale Mission Possible demonstrator, which it expects to launch later this year. Mission Possible is the second subscale demonstrator developed by the exploration company and will be the first to carry customer payloads. The vehicle will have a diameter of 2.5 meters in contrast to the 4-meter diameter of the full-size Next Earth spacecraft. It will not feature a service module, and as a result, its mission to low Earth orbit will be short. In a February 29 LinkedIn post, the company revealed that the Mission Possible capsule's tank skids had been integrated and that the team was almost finished with the integration of the avionics bay. Most of the panels that will enclose the delicate systems within have been covered with thermal protection that will be vital during the re-entry phase. Finally, the company revealed that it was finalizing the electrical test of the propulsion system. Find out more about Mission Possible at europeanspaceflight.com.
There we go.
The exploration company has published an update on the progress.
All right. Thank you for struggling through and for finding it and showing it. So that, just to remind, that's the actual spacecraft that will fly Perseverance payloads.
Yeah.
And it's getting exciting. So I hope to see a bunch of you in beautiful California. And for those of you that are unable to make the mission in person, you'll have the SpaceX live coverage of the launch, and you'll have our coverage of our memorial service. Our memorial service will be the day before the launch, and of course the coverage of the launch will be on launch day. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate the kudos.
Yeah. All right. I apologize, but at least we got to see it.
Yeah, we got it. Thanks for your hard work, Mark.
All right. Well, thank you, Charlie. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Charlie Chafer, our CEO, our guru in charge. And once again, you can rewatch this broadcast at any time. You can forward the link to your family if you're watching from Facebook. You can rewatch it on Facebook. If you're watching from YouTube, you can watch it on YouTube and share those links to any family member that did not get any information from this briefing whatsoever. Like we had said before, this is not the only time you can ask us questions. You can ask us questions at any time via our website, our telephone, email, any questions you may have. If you're unsure of upcoming flights, flight times, the whole 9 yards, just contact us and we will get back to you as soon as we possibly can. We thank you so much.
May I interrupt? Oops. I saw I missed one question.
Oh, you did? Where's that?
Thorough. Judy Divine Davies asked early on, and I missed it, apologize. What's the primary mission of the rocket or the mission that
That's a good question.
Be hitching a ride? Interestingly enough, the primary mission is to fly a bunch of little missions. It's called a rideshare mission. And SpaceX created these missions so that for people that could not just buy a whole rocket, $60 million, you can buy shared space, ride share on it. And so there'll be, there may be 100 satellites, all with different purposes. Our primary mission for the exploration company is to fly, as you saw in the first video, to fly all kinds of stuff, DNA, science, materials processing in a pressurized environment, exposing them to space, 0G, zero total vacuum, temperature differences, and to test that and bring those experiments back to Earth and turn them over to the primary people. There's a picture of Colby Youngblood, board member, turning over our Celestis capsules to the exploration company and integrating them into the launch. Great photos. Thank you for finding those. And that's your
great. Yeah, that's over. He traveled to Germany for that as well, right? Colby, Charlie?
Correct. All right, we're in overtime. Let's close her out. Thanks for scaring those up. Also,
yeah, we got it. All right, thank you, everyone, and we'll see you at our next mission update.
Yep.
This is the launch conductor in mission control. We pause at this moment in our countdown to remember and honor the lives of each of the participants on the Celestis Memorial Spaceflight. Their presence on this flight signifies a commitment to the opening of the space frontier shared by all of us. We wish the friends and families present today and all those who are with us in spirit all over the world Godspeed, good luck, and our thanks for allowing us to share this very personal time with you today. Elsie out. 5 vehicles armed, 3, 2, 1, fire.